What's going on, guys? It's VeVe Drops here, back with another video. And VeVe has released an article today on Twitter covering the first appearance versus first edition tags that are on some of our collectibles, going all the way back to Todd, who got the very first appearance of anything on VeVe, as well as the first appearance of Batman as well. So for me, this article is very important just because back last year when we had DC release some NFTs on the Palm blockchain, many of what they released were not first appearances because they had already been first appearances on VeVe. But they did release a Wonder Woman NFT that technically would be her first appearance across blockchains, a licensed first appearance. And for me, I felt it was dishonest for VeVe to label Wonder Woman a first appearance, the one that was dropped on VeVe, due to the fact that I feel like we should be leading the way and being honest, especially if we want other blockchains to say that our Spider-Mans or our Waltz or our Disney NFTs are first appearances. So we should kind of be honest and at least lead the way in that. But that is not the way VeVe is taking it from the way I'm taking this article, which is fine, but they're being more direct and at least a little bit more honest about it. Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of you Omi homies are going to be pretty mad when I say that because, yes, I totally agree. The Wonder Woman collectible that was dropped on VeVe is way better than the floppy disk that was dropped on Palm NFTs. However, that's not the point. A first appearance or a first edition is a first appearance or first edition. Now, let's go ahead and get into the article, and we'll touch back up on what I'm saying when we get to the part where they bring that up. But I just kind of wanted to give my point of view on how I feel about that. And to clear up a little bit, you know, I definitely don't want the one on Palm to be the first appearance, but I mean, it is technically across blockchains. All right, so in this article, we want to create a foundation to build upon for the collectible edition type labeling on VeVe and to firmly establish guidelines for designations such as first appearance, first edition, con exclusive, etc. for the collector community. Where we're at. As VeVe continues to grow and market activity becomes more robust, having a clear-cut definition for our edition types will help all of our users make the best decisions for them when deciding which collectibles to acquire. Admittedly, there have been some inconsistencies in our past designations, but hopefully in this article we can clear up some of the most frequently asked questions and offer a plan to clear up any doubt about the meaning of FA versus FE, etc. So defining edition types. What qualifies as a first appearance? How does that differ from first edition? Is this the first appearance on VeVe or blockchain? And that was kind of my thing. I didn't feel VeVe was very straightforward about, and we're going to get to the part where they explain this, but I was hoping they were going to go with first appearance on blockchain. I don't know. I just felt that was going to bring more value to our collectibles, but it's just kind of the route, not the route they decided to go. So first appearance. When a character with a storyline from comics, TV, film, etc., such as Spider-Man, is first introduced to the VeVe platform in premium digital collectible format, it is considered a first appearance, or FA. Note that first appearances are reserved for characters making their debut on VeVe and not the blockchain in general, even though in most cases first appearances on the blockchain will be via VeVe, which is true. Many of the DC characters were first appearances on blockchain through VeVe. However, what got me mad was Wonder Woman was not. And of course, like as I said, not to beat a dead horse, I would have preferred VeVe's to be a first appearance because I think their statue's better than the floppy disk, but I just didn't feel it was honest. So I am glad that they've kind of cleared that up with that statement they just made. Going forward, even if other blockchains beat us to certain FA characters, it will always be considered FA if it's a VeVe first, regardless of other blockchains. So at least they've made that clear. I kind of wish it was different, but it is what it is. So first edition. When an object, Rewind Collective logo, artist work, serial killers, vehicle, DeLorean time machine, or art-based format, poster, lenticular cards makes its debut on VeVe, it will be considered a first edition or FE. Note that first editions are reserved for any objects making their debut on VeVe and not the blockchain in general, even though in most cases the first edition on the blockchain will be via VeVe. So kind of the same approach to FEs as FAs. Con exclusives. Con exclusives are inclusive of all collectibles dropped as a part of a convention or special event such as Comic-Con, Designer Con, etc. There will be prioritization for FA and FE on con exclusive collectibles moving forward. Comics. Comic book character first appearances exist in their own world outside of VeVe and do not coincide with collectible releases. As such, digital comics do not carry edition type designations on VeVe. And I kind of get this. I'm kind of like neutral to the comic book thing. In the beginning, when the comics were first being dropped on VeVe, I kind of did want the first appearances to be included, but I kind of get why they're not, because then it would be kind of confusing with the collectibles versus the comics. There should be some type of tag probably put on them. I don't know what you would label them, but I do feel maybe they could do a FAFE specifically for the comics, since it's a different form of an NFT. But, you know, this is kind of their decision they're going with for now. So, moving forward. Obviously, there are some things to clean up given the definitions laid out above. So why isn't Steamboat Willie an FA or FE? And what about the Batmans? The Walt and Mickey partner statue serves as the first appearance of Mickey Mouse on VeVe because he is a character and because Disney does not consider Steamboat Willie a different character. Therefore, Partners remains the first appearance. I'm okay with that. I know there's probably a lot of people hoping for Steamboat Willie to get an FE, at least an FE, if not an FA. But I do kind of get that, because anyone that got a Walt, it does kind of make it special, and Mickey Mouse is clearly on that statue, so I get it. All right, Mickey and Friends lenticular interactive cards are labeled FE because they are first edition cards. This means that if a premium digital collectible of Donald Duck, for example, were to drop in the future, he would be an FA. I'm kind of neutral to this as well. No, I'm not actually, because to be consistent with my first statement, I do kind of still feel, even if they're 2D collectibles, they are first appearances, which is why I wish they'd have been more honest about Wonder Woman. But it is what it is. They're the ones with the big bucks, and I know I'm happy with most things VeVe does, so I'm not going to knock them for that. I just wish they would have went a different route. But again, that's just my opinion. Moving on. Batman, oh boy, the Batman. So as with any startup, we have been on a steady diet of figure it out as we go. Obviously, a precedent was set early with some of the early Batman and Harley Quinn being labeled FE as artist works. But again, we want to clean all this up so these labels are less confusing moving forward. Don't worry, we will avoid removing altogether any currently labeled first appearances or first editions. This includes all the black and white collectibles, etc., out of respect. I'm fine with that. Updates to existing collectibles. Below is a look at the proposed adjustments to be rolled out to existing collectibles based on our definitions above. We want to reiterate here that we are not removing tags, only upgrading or moving between FA and FE. The aim is to update all of these as soon as possible. So here's the list. The DeLorean Time Machine Interactive Ultra Rare is going from FA to FE. Man, that kind of stinks, even though they're trying to say FE and FA to FE is not a downgrade, and I get why they're doing it, but I do own some of these, so it does kind of suck it's going from FA to FE, if I'm just honest, but hey, at least they're doing something and they're being more clear about things. But I get why a lot of the community is upset. Some are happy, some are upset. I'm just kind of in the middle. I just feel they could have been more clear beforehand. Moving along, DeLorean Time Machine Static from FA to FE. Ecto 1 Interactive from FA to FE. So pretty much all the vehicles, going down to the James Bond, the 1-to-1 glider, it's going from FA to FE. So pretty much all vehicles are being moved from an FA tag to an FE tag. First appearance to a first edition. Let's see here. The Avengers logo is going from FA to FE. The Borg Cube, FA to FE. So from the Star Trek drop, which I do have all of those as too. Captain Carter is going from a Comic-Con exclusive to an FA tag. That kind of makes sense, even though it dropped kind of during the Comic-Con convention or whatnot, but I guess she is an FA as well, appearing on the app, and they've done that with many of the Marvel Mighties, give them FA tags, but that's a discussion for a different day. Dragon Girl's going from FA to FE. I know there's going to be a lot mad about that. Even though they're saying it's not a downgrade, but that first appearance tag, people do like those. And I don't think you should base all your investments on FAs, but obviously I see why there's so much credit given to them, because when we get new users onboarded and we go years down in the road to this, you know, FAs are going to be, you know, heavily targeted and, you know, highly coveted. So Ghost Trap, FA to FE. So basically it's like items, cars, etc., as explained above, are going to lose their FA tag and go to FE. The Mickey Sorcerer's hat, that hurts because I have one of those. So it's going from FA to FE. I still don't think many of the Disney Golden Moments are going to hurt much from this, even if they do lose their FA tag to an FE tag, just because they are the Disney Golden Moments. I think in the long run, they'll be okay. Same with Steamboat Willie, even though he's not getting a tag at all. I think they'll be fine, because plenty of people understand with Steamboat Willie that it's an iconic moment in Disney history, regardless of the tag. So there's certain ones that I don't think will be as affected, even though we would have wished things might have went differently. So there's not really a whole big need to go through a lot of these, because as you're seeing here, the softened mass from the 007 drop, FA to FE. So it's basically items, vehicles, etc. As you're seeing, yeah, the U.S. Enterprise ultra rare FA to FE. So pretty consistent with what they're saying there. That's kind of it so far for this article and the information they were putting out. But I just kind of wanted to get this out there, give my opinion. Again, I'm not trying to bring FUD to the community by saying that. I think, obviously, the FA Wonder Woman we got on VeVe is still a very nice collectible, and it'll do well. It's just my opinion. It's not an FA across blockchains. And I know many of you would debate that, you know, based on VeVe's terminology, but I don't believe other people outside of VeVe will view it that way, which is why I think we should have been more honest about it, or more direct about our FA, FE titles, because we want, obviously, as many people to come into this community as possible, and other blockchains